Okay, YouTube people. This video is going to be about two different, I guess, pistol optics, because this is what they are now. It's going to be between the Holosun 509T. Let you know that there's nothing in it. And the aimpoint P2 acro. Nothing in that one either. So now we can all act like adults. I started off with a dot on a pistol several years ago. I started off with the Leupold Delta Point Pro, and I didn't care for it. It was, Lord of mercy, you had to have a 3/4 inch tall front sight post to even have backup irons, and I didn't like the dot. It did not work well for me. I have astigmatism, and it didn't play nice with me, and had this weird reflection thing where I could see the emitter. So didn't keep it long. I got rid of it, sold it, and went with the Trijicon RMR. I believe the RM06 or RM09, whatever the 1 MOA dot was. And I liked it. I liked it a lot. And I think I had one for well over a year. I took my first pistol red dot class with it on a Glock with the Roland Special, the RMR with KKM barrel and comp and a Glock 19 and X300. It was a Scott Jedlinski class up in Nashville, Tennessee, and I did the 2-day class with it. Had no problems whatsoever. Reason I got away from the RMR was I live out in the country. I'm out doing country stuff, and with the open emitter, excuse me, with the open emitter, a lot of times I would have debris that would block the dot from the glass, from the emitter. And so I went with the 509. I've got two of these. I have never had a problem with the Holosun 509. It's an enclosed emitter. And strangely enough, this thing is an actual, or not quite, but it's pretty close to being a dot for me. I don't see a dot with most things on pistols because I have astigmatism, and it's a comma or a comet looking thing or a starburst, never a dot. The Holosuns are awesome for me because it's really, really close to a dot. I have two 509s, I have 507s, and they all work great. I've never had any problems with the Holosun products. I know maybe some people have, but not for me. It works great. They sit low. They're short enough where you can use backup sights with them if that's your thing. But I've never had one. The battery lasts for a long time. I've never had a need for backup iron sights with the Holosun. The battery lasts forever. You got the solar thing on top, and if you just leave it sitting there, like if it's your nightstand gun, it cuts off after like what, 10-15 minutes, something like that. When you pick it up, it comes back on. So the battery life on these things are great. It might be this one. This battery's like 2 years old, and it's still going strong. Granted, it's not my carry gun. I don't carry it all the time, but it just sits in my safe, and when I need it, the dot is always there. It's pretty awesome. I can't believe I can see that on my phone. That is super cool. Anyway, ran the Holosun for quite a while, and a buddy of mine at work, yes, I know I'm missing a switch on my X300. That's why I have a couple of these laying around. So one day I'll get it put on. Had a buddy of mine at work who bought the P1 Acro when it came out, and I believe he had it mounted on a Walther PDP. And I was so impressed that I went out and got a PDP, but I did not get a P1 Acro based on the battery life. I think he was running through a battery, man, I think he said about every 3.5 weeks. He didn't cut it off, so it was a 3.5 week battery. I didn't want to buy any more batteries because I had a lot of the 16 whatever for those, so I just waited. There was nothing wrong with my holosun at the time. Well, then Aimpoint came out with the P2, and nobody could get them. Like a year and a half, 2 years later, and then nobody could get the things. And I hadn't even looked through one, but I remember the dot being so great on the P1 that it was the first time I looked through a pistol dot and it was actually a dot. It was no stigmatism stuff whatsoever with it. It was awesome. And one day I was at work, goofing off on my phone. I got an email from, I can't remember who now, but somehow or another I snagged up a P2 when they were still fairly new. And I've had this thing for about a year now. It's been on a Walther PDP. It was on this gun for a while. And then I got the agency slide and AOS thing. And it's lived on here ever since for the better part of, I don't know, probably 9 months or so. This thing is the best optic that I've used on a pistol. It's I can't say anything bad about it. It's got a very crisp dot for me, for my eyes. The adjustment, the brightness adjustment is awesome. I just recently replaced the battery. It's January. I replaced all my batteries in January, and I couldn't ask for anything better. It's super durable. It has wonderful glass. Let's see if can YouTube see this? Can we maybe point it on Panther here? Maybe yes, maybe no. I like it a lot. It's got pretty clear glass, clearest I've ever used. I can run the rear sight forward, give it a little protection, a little extra protection. But this thing is awesome. It runs on a 2032 battery, which everybody knows by now. And I'm going to replace it every year, but it's never went dead or not been a dot there when I look through it. It gets beat around pretty good. It's my main squeeze. This is my main squeeze gun. She's always there for me, and it gets beat around pretty good on the outside the waistband, inside the waistband, appendix carry, in a safari land on a duty belt. It just does it all for me, and I don't see me changing anytime soon. It's awesome. I mean, and it's got the Aimpoint reputation. I've got a whole bunch of Aimpoint optics, and they've never failed me. I think at this point it's safe to say that Aimpoint's a proven brand and optic, and you're not going to go wrong with this. It's the adjustments on this are really fine, and you can really tune in your zero. Whatever, I zero at 10. If you're a 25 or 15 guy, you can really dial in your zero with this. It's pretty awesome optic. Like I said, real fine adjustments. Although, if there was one thing I didn't like about it, the battery cap being plastic. I mean, come on, Aimpoint. Why? Everything else, why would you put plastic there? But that's the only gripe I can come up with. For me, but it's a great gun. It gets carried a lot. It shows very little wear. I mean, this gun's with me all the time. It comes in and out of holsters all the time, and daily dry fire practice, and it's held up wonderful. I can't complain about the Aimpoint P2 whatsoever. It's been a really great optic. I don't see me, if my holosun went down and I had to buy another optic, I would buy the P2 again. If it was just a range gun, if it was just a training gun, and you could find a cheap P1, hey, go ahead and get you a P1 because they're great too. But if it was me, I'd just get the P2. If something happened to my holosun, I'd get a P2. That's what I would replace it with. It is it's pretty flippin' awesome. Not gonna say anything. There's nothing wrong with the holosun. So if you have a holosun, it's a great gun, and I carry this one from time to time. There's nothing really wrong with it, but for my eyes, the dot is so much better on the P2. Got a pretty good size window. The window size doesn't bother me. It is what it is. Every optic is going to have a different size window, so that's not something that I get hung up on. That's just to me, that's just a training issue. So, but I hope this helps somebody. If there's been a couple comments, one comment and one message comparing these two. I've never had any durability issues with either one. Both of them have held up with whatever type of abuse that I've put them through, banging them on stuff, in and out of Safariland holsters, being carried appendix. It gets banged into crap from time to time, and I've never had a problem out of any of the holosuns that I have, nor the aimpoint. They're both pretty durable in that regard. I mean, I'm sure everybody's watched the Sage Dynamics video where he drops them, and it still works. I mean, good Lord, I haven't done that to these, and you know, he's kind of my benchmark as when it comes to durability. If it passes his test, I'm pretty sure that barring me dropping it on paver stones, that I'm not going to get just from concealed carry and in a duty holster at the range and training classes, that I'm not going to do anything remotely like what he puts his stuff through. So there you go. So that's my take on the Acro and 509. I don't have any experience with the new holosuns that's came out. The carries, the EPS, I think is what they're called. I don't have any. Lord of mercy, He-Man must be drunk. He has fallen off, Battle Cat. Look at that. I didn't even notice that. Sorry, YouTube. I don't know if he can hold his liquor or not. There you go. Sorry, He-Man. But I haven't had any experience with those. But it seems like every generation of the holosuns, the glass and dot gets better and better. But I couldn't offer an opinion on the new ones because the ones I have are several years old. But I hope this helps somebody. And if it did, give me a thumbs up. If it didn't, give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell for notifications, and follow us on Instagram, Official Scout the Dog on Instagram. And we'll put some stuff on there that we're too afraid to put on YouTube. So there you go. Oh, and one thing. If anybody out there has the Cloud Defensive, the little Chiro or Chiro, whatever you call it, light, the one that kind of looks like the Streamlight, let me know if you like it, because this thing has served a great purpose, but it's getting to where sometimes it doesn't come on. And I use this little light more than I use a pocket knife, and I use a pocket knife a lot. So if you got the little Cloud Defensive, it looks like this, let me know if you like it, because I really want one. But other than that, hope y'all have a good one, folks. See you in the next video.